Legend ZA battle mechanics just took another huge step. As we saw in the trailer, Mabel is going to be a new Pokemon professor to us, but that is not the interesting part. It's actually that when she gives us items, or TMs I should say, as a reward for completing stuff, like the Pokédex and the research tasks, there's actually something on the moves that is very interesting that could be used in Pokemon battles as well. It actually has a cooldown timer. When there is no PP in this game, we don't have to use ethers or elixirs to increase the amount of PP there is, right? Usually, if a certain move like Flamethrower, let's say, had 10 or 15 PP, we could only use that move 15 times. But this time, in Pokemon ZA, the Waterfall TM move has a cooldown of 7 seconds. I mean, it doesn't say specifically the amount of time that it is cooling down, but we could just assume that it is 7 seconds. In this game, it's officially confirmed that moves are just gonna have a cooldown instead of actual turn-based stuff where we had to be very mechanical and just click A. But now this time we just time things correctly. I think time management is key when it comes to Pokemon battles now, as if we see a certain opponent using a move, we would just move that Pokemon away as it is using Thunderbolt, and while it is cooling down, we would just use our moves. So that is a very good strategy I would really implement in Legend ZA. Just using my move first, and then as the other enemy is using their move, I would quickly just dodge it and let my Pokemon rest, as it is restoring its timer as well. So it'll be very beneficial to doing that type of stuff. Do you know League of Legends, like, they have the abilities, the skills, where you have QWER, the keyboard letters, where if you use a certain skill and then it has a cooldown timer, like up to 10 seconds. So once it's up again, you could use that ability again. So it is very nice. And we are controlling our partners, so as we saw in the trailer, the positioning and dodging could work however it likes. We could just move it whenever it wants. But there is also a blue circle indicator that reaches the Pokemon, so it does take some time for us to eventually use that move. Maybe if the Pokemon is very far away and we are in a certain area where the Pokemon is kind of far, like distant, then maybe the blue circle indicator would take some time to reach the Pokemon. So it's not instantly as soon as we press like Stealth Rock that it would actually work. These surprise attacks for wild Pokemon will unleash a large advantage when you want to do battles during the night. So if they're just wandering around or sleeping on the ground and we find them, it would always result in a critical hit that deals a large amount of damage, and you may even knock out your opponent's first Pokemon. For the battle zones in the nighttime, it appears to be in a red fence. But on the other hand, if a trainer catches you off guard, your Pokemon might be unable to move entirely, but you could also escape by putting some distance between yourself and them. For the trainer battles, the ranks show up in different colors, and if they're a higher rank, there would be a red bar. Someone on equal level is blue. When you're leveling up in the ZA Royale, there's also a ticket point bar that fills up from battles, and bonus cards which are like missions. It could be anything like walking 3,000 steps with your Ampharos, or even just catching one wild Pokemon, like something very specific. But still, these missions that are very like nitpicky or small, they could actually contribute a lot. If you rack up those points with a challenger's ticket, you'll eventually be able to reach some promotional matches. Maybe those promotional matches might have to do with the poison type gym leader Corbo that we saw in the trailer, but I don't know if the gym leader thing and the promotional matches are the same thing. I honestly don't think the promotional matches are not the same thing as the poison type battles that we saw in the trailer. The promotion matches are probably going to be something with a taxi driver. They have a certain goal that they want to reach. If you beat them, then you might have an advantage in redeveloping the city in the way you want it to be instead of what the trainer wants it to be. Didn't the evil taxi driver want to make taxis like very expensive or something like that? What would be very nice is if we could customize our own team for the Rogue Mega Pokemon battles, which are kind of hard to beat if they are going to get the same treatment as Terastallization Pokemon. Or even something like those max raid battles. Those are very fun to just co-op with people. I remember actually there was a lot of Discord rooms where we could actually form our very own group to even shiny hunt for these specific Pokemon. Just imagine if we could shiny hunt a rogue Mega Pokemon, like Mega Dragonite for example. We actually don't know yet what color Mega Dragonite is going to be. I've heard some people say that it could be blue since it's based on Dragonair, or it could also be pink as it is the original shiny form for the Dratini line. I would honestly like to see it be pink because it would be very funny if it would just be like a pink angel just soaring in the sky. If there is a co-op system in battle mechanics, then one player could distract while another person could be attacking. So there would be a lot of different skills and strategies that we could use with certain Pokemon, because some Pokemon are more on the defensive side. And it is confirmed that we could actually roll on the ground, just like how we could in Legends Arceus. If we were in a battle, we could just roll on the ground to avoid their moves. It's like an RPG style. It's very experimentative and I really like it, honestly. And this also immediately raises the question, are we keeping the Legends Arceus system where you could throw items in battle, like mid-battle? But that also raises the question of Legends Arceus that introduced Agile style and Strong style moves, which were the two options that changed how the battles flowed. While Agile let you act faster, Strong boosted power but slowed you down. So it created like a semi-real-time strategy that rewarded timing and risk. So on a certain time, if you want to deal more extra damage, you could use the Strong style move, and it would really change up how the battles would work. It would change the whole flow and really turn things in your direction. Agile is also very beneficial. In Legends Z8, the Game Freak hasn't confirmed if that's coming back, but it would be very interesting to see if it does, rather than just using moves. I mean, as we only saw that there was only moves, so I don't think there really is going to be any sort of Agile or Strong style moves. And since Rogue Mega Pokemon are coming to this game, it is just like Scarlet and Violet Terastallization battles where we had to use both allies, not just ourselves. We can't fight it solo, so... But this time it says that Team MZ is going to help us instead of other players, so I'm wondering if there's going to be any sort of Wi-Fi system where we could connect with online real-time players and battle with those people. And imagine if there's even like voice calling where you could talk to people inside the game. If Nintendo Switch 2 is more advanced, we could just communicate with each other through the mic systems. It would be very cool to see if a player could distract a Pokemon while another lands a hit. Maybe you'll keep it single player, but I really want to see multiplayer co-op battling, so it'll be very cinematic. That would play out more like boss fights, and you could play with your friends as well. Whether Legends Z8 gives us something brand new beyond this, one thing is clear is that there won't be our usual gym battle grind. And it is confirmed that Alpha Pokemon are also returning to Legends Arceus. It's very cool that they're returning, but now they're kind of barred. How do they even allow that in the daytime? I thought nighttime is where dangerous stuff comes out. What if Mega Energy has gone out of control? This also opens up a lore possibility, like Mega Energy is corrupting Pokemon, and these Megas aren't just stronger, but they're also unstable. Maybe during the battles they could just go on a rampage where they do 10 attacks in a row, and we can't even move our Pokemon if they're all paralyzed. Or there could also be situations where they will lose their defense all at once since they let their guard down at a certain time. I mean, type matchups have been a huge thing in Pokemon battles. We actually never really saw how that would work out in the ZA trailers. So imagine if type matchups really play a big role. Like, if there is a fire move, someone is using a fire move at us, and we use a water type move, what if we could just cancel that out? That would be actually very interesting if the Pokemon actually touches upon this, and not just based on power. I think I just saw that it was just based on the damage itself, and not just the type matchups give it a special boost. Imagine if someone uses a water type move, and then we use ice type. It could freeze the water or something. But I think that would be too advanced if they actually implemented that. That is all for me. See you next time.